Hi there, I'm Nicola and I'm the Communications and Marketing Officer at Pearson College. And today I'm speaking with Casper, a year 44, am I correct?
Correct.
Um, from Norway. And yeah, we're just catching up. Hi, Casper, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm Casper. I'm doing very, very well. Thank you.
And what are you up to these days? What's your day look
Right
like?
now, I'm on summer vacation right now. Had a week fishing and a week in the mountains of Sweden. Except from that, I'm studying here in Bergen, Norway, West Coast. I'm studying economics and business management, but I'm here particularly because of the strong seafood industry or the all the network that's an action that's happening here in Bergen. So I'm studying and have a job at a seafood exporter outside of my studies.
Cool. That sounds really interesting. Before no, I really want to go there in a moment, but please tell us a little bit about your time that you had at Pearson College.
Well, I came in with really high expectations. I was excited to, particularly for marine science and for the school being located on the western coast of Canada, close to marine life. Um, and I was prepared to have my perceptions challenged, and they for sure were. Um, at first, I was impressed by the amount of activity of everything, of there being so much happening all the time, and the diversity of the activities. However, after some time, I found that it kind of sort of slowed down. And as our second years left, I realized that all the activities happened because people were arranging and making it happen. So it took some time for me to realize that in order to have things happen, I needed to make it happen myself. And then I was able to do more of what I enjoyed and found more of the people that I enjoyed spending time with. And overall, it was a very educational and meaningful experience. For sure, the most meaningful 2 years I've had so far. And I still look back at on it quite often. And I'm very thankful I had that time at Pearson. Yeah.
Wow, wow, that's quite insightful to realize that yeah, there's things being offered, but wait a second. Then moving into this leadership role, I have to offer some of those myself, and I have to do that. Yeah, wow, that's quite insightful. I'm impressed. And you touched on a few points, but um, is there any particular person or a group of people or things, activities that influenced you the most when you were during your time at Pearson?
Well, my expectations for marine science they were met and even went above the experience that I had with Laura. I learned a lot and also realized that I, because of my interest for marine resources and marine science in general, that I already had a lot of knowledge, and I was happy to be able to share it and develop it further. But what surprised me was that I also had a strong interest for economics, which was inspired by Samuel and later Peter Gardner. And I feel like they taught me the importance of having tools to connect your ideas and your passion with the rest of the world,
Mhm.
and learning how to, yeah, to connect all of us and make us work together. So Laura, Peter, and Samuel, and also my advisor Julia, meant a lot to me during that time.
And yeah, you just said you returned to Norway. Where did you go after Pearson? Tell us a little bit about the time after.
Um, well, I was lucky to receive a scholarship from the Norwegian government to go to Pearson, and being grateful for that, I wanted to return the favor. And as it's quite normal to serve a year in the military, I found that that would be a fair way of returning the favor and also learning a lot. So I served a half year in the Navy on a minesweeper. And then after that, those 6 months, I ended up in the Coast Guard, where I wanted to be to learn more about their fisheries management, and yeah, just overlooking coastal activities. Yeah, so I had a year in the military before I started studying a year ago.
And so with now your chosen field, where do you see yourself in the future? What's your path that you can
Um,
foresee right now?
well, now I'm currently planning a semester in Japan to work with seafood there, to work at a
Wow.
land-based salmon farming facility. Because of course there's a lot of value in how seafood is being produced and managed today, but there's also a lot of issues that needs to be solved in order for it to be sustainable in the long run. So having grown up in Norway and then having those 2 years in Canada, I figured that Japan or Eastern Asia would be the next correct path or next correct step. Um, I'm hoping to work with seafood through Norway possibly, but also possibly internationally, and to do it in a sustainable way, and be sure that we can live off it for as long as we want.
Wow, you are living and following the UWC mission. Is very, very impressive. Thanks for sharing all that. And we reconnected because you recently joined the Alumni for Life program at the end of April for our graduating Year 46 students. Aside from Benoit, our Director of Alumni Engagement, reaching out, what prompted you to participate?
Um, I found that a lot of these alumni for life or life after Pearson events that they were focused on going into some big North American or European or say Western university, and that there wasn't a lot of focus on returning to where you came from and contributing in the best way possible. Not saying that that can't be at a big university, but that there weren't a lot of people sharing stories about contributing or following their passion in their home country. And no one, I think, shared a story about serving the military. And I believe that if UWC is about in a peace and a sustainable future, then we can't attain that by only sharing those ideas at big institutions and big organizations and in big Western countries where it's already quite integrated. We need to bring it back to our communities
You're
and
right.
sort of try to live the UWC ideas there. Um, so I wanted to share that that idea of not having to follow the same path as everyone else, and focusing on your passion and doing what's best for you, and uh, doing something or to be in the place where you can feel like you can contribute the most.
And thank you for saying that and for participating and bringing that angle to the table, because a lot of alum do, but the ones who are most vocal about it are not the ones that where you said you wanted to hear more of those stories. So
Mhm.
somehow they're not the most vocal. So thank you for, because there's many alum who do that. And but yeah, thank you for being vocal and sharing that that side and your experiences there. How was it? How was it sharing your experiences with these brand new alum?
It was weird to see people in the position I was in 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Of course, under different circumstances, but it made me, it woke a lot of old memories alive again, and it was fun to share. Well, I was more interested actually in hearing about the current students' plans than sharing my own. Um, and I started talking to a couple of them, and actually continued after the chat, a
Cool.
couple of messages. So no, it was nice to reconnect with Pearson again, and yeah, that was. I feel like I gained more than they probably did.
Thank you so much for that. And that really is the intent, to foster engagement. And it sounds like a win-win. And this is always what we hope for when we make these things happen. Yes, it is amazing for the new alum to hear from recent and older alum about their paths. But yeah, as you just said, like you're forging connections as well. And it's yeah, wow. Thank you. You already touched a little bit about what's in your future. You're going to Japan. That's quite exciting. Is there anything else that I haven't asked? I felt it was so and that's why I called, because I felt it was so wonderful that you said you had this passion before, it was even more ignited, and then you learned more about economics and how you fused those together. Did I capture, or did we capture that correctly in our talk?
Yeah, for sure. Main idea and why I wanted to join the Life After Pearson chat was to share or to emphasize the call it like the cliche idea of finding your passion and following it, and not letting anyone else tell you what that is and how you're going to achieve it. Because as long as you're doing what you believe in, then that's what's right for you, and then that's what's right for everyone else. And that can be going back and working back to your hometown and working at a local restaurant. Like that may be where you can contribute the most, and not only, or also not focusing on contributing the most, but on having a good time after Pearson and sharing the ideas and experiences you had. So yeah, for sure. But like to not let go of your own plan or your own ideas or your own passion, even though there are many other ways or many other things that can be achieved. They may not be what's best for you.
Wow, thank you. I think we should close it on those words, because they were quite impactful and powerful. Thank you so much, Casper,
Of
for
course.
your time and sharing those insights. Much appreciated.